Hello and welcome along and welcome back to Felsbrun for our Seasons from Scratch series. We're heading up to Field 8 in the HTZ here. That is because our tractor, we've got a fertilising contract on this field. So we've got a few of those sort of kicking around. We've got 2 or 3. These will bring in some extra money for us. The idea is that we're looking to have a bit of extra cash going into winter because we want to buy a patch of land with some hopefully with a bit of woodland on it for us to do on the next day. So we're going to set this off here. Oh, the soil is frozen. We can't work it. So there we go. So that can't be worked because the soil is frozen. Although, that looks to me... fertilised. No, that has not fertilised at all. So, that's the thing. With seasons, we can't work this land. It is frozen. It's completely unworkable. We can't get the extra stuff in. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to park this up here. We'll get this back to the farm later. Because we have another piece of land. Or another job that needs doing. And hopefully, this is going to work. So, something somebody pointed out to me last time is I can do that. I can raise and lower this. So, we've raised it a little bit so that our truck is in a good position. So, we're going to turn on the harvester and hopefully... yes, so we can still work our potatoes. So what we're going to be doing today then is getting the rest of this field of potatoes out. We are about halfway through it. Hopefully we're going to get a good amount off here. This is a really good field that we have. There's a little bit that we missed there. I don't know why. But yeah, so we're going to work this potato field. We're going to get the rest of this cleared out. And in doing so... we're going to make ourselves about another 40,000. So what we'll do is we'll turn around here and then we'll have a look at what that means for us and our farm. We should be able to get a nice patch of land for about 90,000 maybe if we're lucky. We might have to borrow a little bit of money. But if we do, that is not the end of the world. Let's lower that down. Get into here. Doesn't matter if we clear a few more rows than we're actually harvesting, but hopefully our truck should keep up with us here. And so we'll straighten this out like so. With that going, let's have a look and see what land we might be able to buy with what we've got. I think we've got some crops to sell as well, so we should be hopefully in a good position to buy some land. But if we come onto here and have a look over here, 20 has a nice patch of trees on it. That is 181,000, 174,000, 200,000. There must be a nice patch of trees that we can buy somewhere. Yeah, it's going to be pushing it. It's going to be a tough one. Everywhere costs quite a bit of money, so we may have to... that would probably be our best bet. 157 down there. There's a few places that we might be able to actually make the purchase on, and go with. So we will continue on. In fact, there we go. We're full again. So let's get this empty, and hopefully we can work out a way that we can afford that bit of land. Our truck is up to 79% at this point. We're at 72%. This fills up really quickly. And I've actually got it set so the truck will start trying to come up beside us when we hit 50%. That is because as the truck makes its way over to us, it takes a little bit of time for it to catch up. And you can hear it catching up now. So that it's up beside us and emptying while we're still able to get it to empty. Now there's a little bit of a move across that we've got here, but we're going to clear all this up while our lorry is going in tipping, which it should do now because it's got 97%. So we're going to clear up these few bits of mistake and bits that have happened here. And once that's done, hopefully our truck should be back and can come and empty us again. But it's going quite well at the moment. I'm quite pleased. We're making good progress. What we might have to do is to slow the time down a bit, because we only have a limited window here with this. The downside of that is that this will automatically all wither on the next game day, so we don't want to be doing any more with that. And really, we want to see how much we can make off this. Complete this contract, because we really need to complete this. And then we should be in a good position. We should be in a position where we're able to go in. We may have to. I'm very tempted to sell a field to buy that piece of woodland. We can't do anything with that field, and nobody else will be able to do anything with that field over the winter months. And I found this is actually a really good tactic to use. So we're not flipping so much as just sort of selling for a short period of time to do over the winter. So I'm not looking to field flip on here. What I am looking is to sell the land for a little while, and then we'd pick it back up come the springtime, and then we can get it with our own crops and things in once we're able to start sowing again. But over the winter months, we need to buy land that has woodland stuff on it, because we don't have anything that we can work on otherwise. So our truck has come back, and we are still hoovering up these various little bits around the field. So it's going to have a field day when it tries to come and pick this up. But that does mean we will be able to cut in as soon as it has. Yeah, I can't see any more over there. So we'll turn this back on, get this last little row here, and then we'll be able to pull out a little bit, let our truck fill up, and then we're going to be in a position where what we can do is cut in. So that's all good. We are... How far are we left? We have reached... we're about halfway through this field. Our truck is having a little bit of trouble getting to us, but that's okay. But once this gets emptied, let's pull forward a little bit, because otherwise that's going to think it's in traffic. Once we get this emptied, we can cut in and get this attacked a little bit further. It is quite a large field, this. And this has sort of taken us a while to get to this point. But once we got this is worth a lot of money to us. So there we go. That is that emptied. We will leave our truck there. And we're going to head round and we're going to try and get cut in at this point. Round about here, I think. So we'll open this up. This is, yeah, so this is about a quarter of the way through what's left. Should be a couple of cut-ins at this point. And we're going to try and keep nice and straight on this now, so that we don't have that cleanup that we've just had. I'm fully expecting our truck to try and come in and empty this. But that's all right. We should be good. And if we go into cab, we've got a nice line straight up that middle row. And we'll keep up at that. So it's all good. Let's get this lorry filled up again and see where we are. The rain has started to fall, but not a problem. We are able to harvest potatoes in the rain, thankfully. We have made a nice little inroad into this. We're on our 3rd row at the moment. The lorry is coming alongside at pretty much the perfect point each time. So it's set to drive and come along at 50%. It is currently catching up with us when we hit about 80-85%. Which is absolutely perfect. It means that it reaches us at about the end of the row, and as a result we're in a position where we never really stop, which for keeping this running and keeping this going is absolutely perfect. And the play course as a result is working brilliantly, and this is the beauty of using of us harvesting with courseplay running the truck. Because it just keeps us going. It keeps the whole thing running, and just means that we're in a position where we're not having to worry about going and emptying the truck all the time. We can just keep plugging away at these potatoes and keep getting the money in with that. And hopefully that just means that we'll be in a position that we'll be able to get this done. Having said that, I have just realised our truck has not quite reached us by the end of this row. And as a result, it's reaching us just in time to get right in the way. So we will have to empty it here, I think. No, it's not. I don't know, it is emptying. There we go. So empty that there. And then we'll turn back in. But yeah, it has been. So what I'm going to do is, as that isn't quite reaching us in time, what we'll do is on here, we can adjust the settings. So this is the setting. I'm going to reduce that down to 30%. So every time we hit 30% full with our harvester, our truck will now come and catch up with us. That means that everything is just that little bit more tight in doing this. And yeah, we are in a much better position for it. So let's go round here and we'll cut back in. Our truck is now at 63%, so it will take at least 2 more loads, and that will mean we'll get a nice bit more of a cut in for this, and yeah, get plenty more potatoes off this field. So yeah, let's keep cracking on because there's a lot of potatoes still to get lifted. So our truck has been emptying us often, and now should be over 90%, which is the point at which it drives. So we're going to move out the way. Truck should pull forwards and head off. And what will happen now is that that truck will take a while to go and tip those. So we'll be in a position where we will hit 100%. When I do that, I am going to reduce the time to 1 times because, yeah, as you can see, we still have a huge amount of potatoes to get up off here. It is an absolutely ridiculous amount. This is a huge contract, and you can see why it's worth the money it is, because it just goes on and on and on, which is not a bad thing. I do love these big contracts, but it is one of those things where getting them done does just really take the time, and you just have to keep plugging away at them to do them. And it's one of those things where it's a trade-off between these contracts and the smaller, more often ones that we have, and we were doing last time with the fertilizer, and that I was absolutely planning to do this time. Now this, I just noticed the rain has turned to snow, so we have snow here falling. It is due to change. and whether it will continue to fall as snow, because it's kind of sleeting a bit. But yeah, certainly showing as snow at the moment, which is a little bit odd and not great. But hopefully we should be in a position where we can get this. Now I've got this a little bit wider here. Hopefully that hasn't left us with a bit on the wide side. Nope, we're good. So yeah, we got snow. Whether this settles, because the ground, so it's 1 degree centigrade, so it's perfect for snow, but it's also frozen ground, so we may find that we end up with a snowfall, with some snow on here, especially if this keeps on going overnight. And so next time we could be logging in the snow, if that happens. Our truck is coming back now, so let's start up our engine again. And when that is in position and starts emptying, what we can do is turn our harvester back on, and away we go. So that then means that we are emptying and moving. We can get this loaded up as much as possible. Now, what I'm thinking is, with this lorry off, and with it in a position where we find that we're sitting here for a while without it being available, I think what we should do is get our tractor and trailer running on this as well. And that way we're able to, at least in part, keep things going, because this only holds capacity for 10,000 litres. Oh, it's actually 9,590 litres of potatoes, and fills up quite quickly. So it'd be useful to have our, I think our HTZ running the same course as the lorry, and hopefully as a result, meaning that we're able to just keep going a little bit more and a little bit longer than we are currently. So that's what I'm going to do next. We're going to get this emptied again. And then we're going to... I'll go off and set that up. And that way, well, actually, we can set that up. We can get that set up next time the lorry heads off. So that will be my plan. But we'll get this. We'll get the lorry filled up, get that all done and dusted, and that should be good. I'm also considering upping the lorry to doing 40%, coming alongside when it hits 40%, because 30% seems to be unloading on a very regular basis. Even though, well, I suppose it's taken a full tank off us so far, plus a bit. So yeah, I think we might have a look at that in a bit as well. Because yeah, it's while it's keeping up with us, it is getting there very, very often. So this load at the end of the row here, this will top off our lorry. It's up to 88%. This should send it just over when it pulls alongside. There we go. So that will empty that off. I don't think it's going to top it right off. I don't think there's enough in us in here. There isn't, but there is enough for it to get to send it off. So we are going to fill this up. We know the lorry won't be back in time, but what we will do is once I got this filled up, we'll head down to our yard. We'll get the fertilizer spreader detached from the HTZ, and then we will head back up here with it and set it on the course so that it is plugging that gap between when the lorry heads off and when it gets back, and just means that we're still moving and not stopping. So coming up to full, there we go. So let's head over to our HTZ here. We want to get this disconnected. So let's disconnect that, disconnect the PTO, and that. Start up the engine, and our trailer is over there. Now I think our truck is already on the way back. So we want to get this hooked up and get this on the course. Now I think we've saved the course. Connect that, connect that. And away we go. Now, why I'm not getting course play on this, I don't know. That's slightly worrying. So we'll head over here. We've got course play on this. We've not got course play on this. So I don't think we can use this tractor. I think we're going to have to use our other tractor and hope that it can tow that. It should be able to. It's not a massive trailer, but it's not ideal for us to be using our little Mercedes. I think the Phoenix is pretty much already back. I'm slightly surprised that we can't use course play with the HTZ though. That is a little bit odd. Is there anything in the error? There is an error. So yeah. Let's head on and yeah, we hope this 900 turbo can handle this. Should be able to. It's not a huge trailer for this. I am intrigued to see if this is able to do it. But we will find out, so hook that up. We'll hook those up. And we will load potatoes southeast port because that's what's running on the other one. And away we go. I have noticed while I'm down here actually that our chickens do need doing. So what we'll do is we'll just pop over here. We will open up that. Make sure that we have the water done for those. And then we'll come back and we'll clean up the wheat on this a little bit later. For now, though, what I want to do is set this to carting. Set this to nearest waypoint. Select the right combine. There we go. And drive course. There it goes. Now hopefully this can pull it. We will find out soon enough. In the meantime, let's head back here where our truck has come up alongside. As soon as this starts emptying, we can turn this back on. And away we go. And means we don't stop. Absolutely perfect. So the agro truck is coming alongside again. This should top this off and finish this off. Not a massive amount of the field left to do. We've got maybe a fifth of it to go, which is good. Likelihood is that this is a slightly longer episode. I'm not sure how long this has gone on for yet, but at this point our truck is ready to go and tip again. I think we're fairly high with the potatoes. One of the nice things about potato contracts, especially on fields of this size, is that you end up with a whole lot of potatoes for yourself. So that's what we're going to end up with at the end of this. Is we're actually going to have to get the potatoes to... Well, it's one of those questions we have. If we look at potatoes here... Tomorrow, that is the best price, but we could very easily just sell them today for a really good price. They are at a good price at the moment. Southeast Port, I don't know if that is also a good place to sell them at, so we'll have a quick look at that as well. So potatoes, if we scroll across, those, the best place for them at the moment is the train station mill. Port Southeast is actually, no, it's that one. Yeah, Port Southeast at the moment is not massively less. So I don't mind sending our truck and stuff there. That will keep things going nicely. Now our tractor should be coming alongside us now because we've gone over 30%. And like the lorry, that is set. And in fact, you can see it coming towards us. Now I'm hoping this tractor has enough oomph to pull this trailer when it's full of potatoes. But we shall see. We'll see what happens. So if we go out here and watch it, it's coming around. I don't think that's going to reach us before we get to the end here, because it's taking a nice long time to turn around. And by the time that's happened, there we go. And we are already 48% full. And you can see not a huge amount of field left. So we're going to cut in. Actually, we're going to cut in at this point. The tractor will always have to drive through potatoes anyway. And you can see we do not have a massive amount of field left to do. Absolutely perfect. So in we go. That will empty us. It'll drive between the rows. Yeah, here it comes. Hopefully. He's trying to avoid the crop, which is what Courseplay does do. But if it can't, it will drive through it. So there we are. We're at 76%. So our lorry has nearly made it. I think we might need to pull that out a little bit further. Nope, that's all good. And that should now empty into there. There we go. It could possibly do with going a little bit further out. But in general, I'm quite happy with that. Now, how much is this? Oh, wow. This is going to over half. Yeah, that's over half filled that trailer. So as long as the tractor can make it back and empty us, we're good. Or can make it back in time. It is emptying at the moment, is the Phoenix. Yeah, that's emptying at the moment. So with any luck, 94% emptied. So with any luck, by the time we've emptied into the tractor again, and in fact that's going to empty now and do that. This is probably going to complete this mission, this contract. And if it does, that might be a good place for us to end. And then I can just collect up the rest of these off camera, which will probably be the best way to go with it. So, yeah, we will see if this tractor is able to take that. It has a 78%, so it's not actually at a level where it's going to go and tip, which is probably a good thing. There we go. Our little tractor is full. That is heading off, and the lorry is back just in time. That actually is really good. That has been really effective. It's kept us going. I did have to turn the four-wheel drive on the tractor and the diff locks in order to get it to move. But once I've done that, it actually worked really, really well. But I'm expecting this to complete this contract now. And if so, we're going to be in a really great position going forward. Not a huge amount to get left off this field. But should be enough for us to then do some good selling come well after this, and we'll see where we end up next time as far as that goes. But yeah, we're gonna keep going here for now, and when the tractor comes, we'll see if that tops it off. But certainly at the moment, I think that is where this is headed. So here we are approaching Port Southeast at the moment. This is still running on course play. We will see whether this completes our contract, which hopefully it will. So we'll just come out of here. Watch that tip. And hopefully this will complete the contract. There we go. Oh, 98%. So back to the field we go. Start up our harvester. We just need to finish this off. So yeah, not much more to go, but I'm slightly surprised by that. Certainly whatever this truck tips this time, that is going to top this off. It is at 24%, so there's a fair amount for us to put into this, but it'll make a load of money for us as well. So yeah, we're just gonna crack on for that little bit longer. Here comes the truck for the last load. Well, the last load that we need to get here that will complete this contract. We've got a little bit left on the field, but not a huge amount. But yeah, certainly this will fill our truck up. If we have a jump up here, we can see that is looking very nicely full, and that is ready to head off. So yeah, I think that is where we're going to leave it. We've completed this mission. Or I should say, we've all but completed this contract. Massive potato contract. Very happy to have most of it out. I will get the rest of this finished off camera so that we can move on to the next day. And we'll get the rest of this actually stored probably in our shed. Or maybe make the money off it. So we'll see how much we come back with next time. But for now, all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.